Good evening. I'm Denz Aruna, and we are coming in hot because last night in Boston, the Red Sox's incredible 15-game winning streak came to an end. Baltimore shutting them down 5-1 in the nightcap of a doubleheader. Here's what makes it sting and sing at the same time. Boston actually tied their 80-year franchise record in the first game, winning 6-3, before Kyle Bradish and the Orioles put the lights out in Game 2. That streak, per ESPN, was the longest in the majors since St. Louis went on a 15-game run back in September 2021. And the man running Boston's bench didn't even start the season as manager. We've got a full rundown of tonight's biggest stories right here. All right. Okay. LeBron, we hear you. The human host wants to go there, so let's go. Here's where this actually stands. Per ESPN's Shams Charania, LeBron left the Lakers and has no timetable for a decision, with Rich Paul flat out telling the Game Over podcast we're not going to be rushed. The three teams in the frame, per Charania, are the Cavaliers, the Heat, and the 76ers. And as of Monday, prediction markets had Miami at 48%, Cleveland at 25%, Philly at 17%. But look, I love the drama as much as anyone, and I'll come back to this, but I've got a World Cup that actually finished, and I need the floor for 60 seconds, because Spain just did something historic. Look, I hear you on Bronny. And actually there's a real story there that has nothing to do with LeBron's free agency. Per Silver Screen and Roll, the Lakers guaranteed Bronny's contract for the 2026-2027 season at $2.3 million, and that decision was based on what they saw from him this past year. He emerged as a legitimate bench option during an injury crisis, earned playoff minutes against Houston, and for the first time looked like a rotation-level NBA player. But I have to be straight with you. Right now, the Bronny conversation exists in the shadow of a bigger one. And that bigger one is happening on a soccer pitch in New Jersey. Spain just won the World Cup. They're sitting on the story of the week, and I am not letting it slide another beat. Look, Rich Paul said a lot on that Game Over podcast, and the line that landed hardest was this one, per Basketball Forever. We're not going to be rushed. It's his choice to make, and when he makes the choice, he'll make it. But then just 2 days ago, he went further, telling everyone, teams included, none of these people know anything, per the Liberty Line's reporting. And here's the part I cannot get past from a tactical standpoint. Per ESPN's Dave McMenamin, Golden State is now in that mix, alongside Cleveland, Miami, and Philly, which means before LeBron picks a zip code, I need 60 seconds on the team that actually won something this month, because Spain just put together one of the most dominant World Cup runs in history, conceding a single goal across 8 matches. Look, I hear you on Stephen A. And honestly, his take is the most entertainingly frustrated thing in sports media right now. Per Yahoo Sports, he went on First Take and said LeBron should start a sitcom called Indecision because, quote, he can't make up his damn mind. But here's where I draw the line. Stephen A. is doing exactly what I hate, making it about the drama instead of the tape. And speaking of tape, coming up next I'm going to show you exactly how Spain tactically dismantled Argentina in that final. Because per tactical analysis from Coach's Voice, Argentina finished with 0 shots on target across 120 minutes. 0. That's not luck, that's a system. Okay, so you want Unk and Ocho in the building. I respect it, because Nightcap has actually been all over the LeBron free agency, and they are not holding back. Per BVM Sports, Shannon Sharp and the crew reacted to reports that the Cavaliers are willing to acquire Bronny just to lure LeBron back home. And per a separate YouTube drop from about a week ago, they were reacting to Adam Silver himself reportedly urging LeBron to make a decision, which tells you how sideways this whole thing has gotten. But here's where I break with Unk. Shannon runs on love for LeBron, and love is not tape. The tape from that World Cup final tells me Spain didn't just win. Per Coach's Voice, Argentina failed to register a single attempt on goal across 120 minutes. and per tactical football analysis, Spain's midfield rotations literally dragged McAllister and Enzo Fernandez out of shape on purpose. That is a look. I went looking for Cameron on It Is What It Is, and I'm gonna be straight with you. I cannot verify that specific take right now, so I'm not going to put words in his mouth or make something up on this desk. What I can tell you is this: per ESPN, Rich Paul told them directly that this is the first time that LeBron James is making a decision pressure-free. And per Bleacher Report's live tracker, the whole league is in a holding pattern because of it, Draymond Green and James Harden included. Before we go any further on LeBron, though, I need 60 seconds on Ohtani, because per ESPN and the AP, he threw a 30-pitch bullpen session yesterday with a lingering left knee issue. Dave Roberts called it a big sign, and there is still no timetable for his return to the mound. Okay, so that is the story nobody on the basketball side saw coming, and it's verified, per Yahoo Sports and Boardroom's own coverage of Fanatics Fest. LeBron sat Jury down privately and told her himself, per his own words at the event, "Baby, I don't want you to hear from nobody else, but I won't be playing for the Lakers next year." And then he said publicly, and this is the line that reframes the entire free agency, "It's my almost 12-year-old daughter who is pulling the weight a lot." Now here's what I actually take from the tape on this. Jury was born in Ohio, but she has grown up entirely in Los Angeles, per Pro Football Network's reporting. So if she says, "Dad, I don't want to move," that is a real and direct arrow pointing toward Golden State, because staying in California disrupts her life the least. The Cavs' hometown angle works emotionally, but the geography argument for the Warriors just got a lot stronger than any pitch Draymond or Steph made. Okay, fair. Pushback accepted, and here's where I'll concede ground. The geography argument for Golden State is real, but it is not airtight. Per Heavy.com, citing Anscape's Mark J. Spears, Jury, being an LA kid, actually reinforces the Warriors' case. But per Bleacher Report's live tracker updated today, prediction markets now have the Heat as a serious challenger. And per ESPN's Shams Charania on the Pat McAfee Show, Cleveland, Miami, and Philly are the three teams that continue to come up. The Warriors aren't even in that top three right now. And here's the tape read. Per reporting California Post's Melissa Rowland, cited by Heavy, Jury is a volleyball player with her roots in LA. But Miami is a completely different disruption to her life too. So if comfort is the frame, Golden State is still the cleanest answer. All right, we're pivoting hard to the other two, because both of these drop tomorrow and they deserve real time. First, Shohei Ohtani. Per Yahoo Sports and the AP, he threw a 31-pitch bullpen session at Citizens Bank Park yesterday. Full pitch mix, first time off a mound in 2 weeks after that Orthovis injection in his left knee. And Dave Roberts called it a big sign. No timetable on the return yet, per ESPN, but the tone out of the Dodgers camp shifted noticeably. Second story, and I'd argue it's the bigger cultural moment. WNBA All-Star Weekend kicks off tonight in Chicago. The All-Star Game is Saturday at the United Center, per the official site, with Caitlin Clark, Aja Wilson, and Paige Buchers all on the floor. And per Yahoo Sports, this is the WNBA's 30th anniversary season, which makes the backdrop even bigger than the rosters. Before we close the books on today, I love the Shedeur mention, because this is actually a verified story worth sitting with. Per Front Office Sports, as cited by 247 Sports, he earned $17.7 million in NFLPA group licensing income this past season, on a rookie contract worth roughly $4.6 million per Spotrac. And that number doesn't include individual deals with Gatorade, Delta, Beats by Dre, and Ralph Lauren. Now you said timeless specifically, and I can't verify a formal deal with a brand by that name today, but here's what the tape tells me. The watch flex started as a troll at Nebraska with a $70,000 Diamond Audemars Piguet per Sports Illustrated. Coach Prime was already on record per Bleacher Report saying, "We gotta get him a lucrative watch deal. He can't do it for nothing." And Nike literally put the watch celebration on a Times Square billboard with the line, "You know what time it is."